It's been 9 years since we got to witness the reveal of Nintendo's magnum opus, the Nintendo Switch, and 8 years since we could finally have it in our hands and take it for a ride, giving us magnificent games to try it out, like Zelda Breath of the Wild and Mario Odyssey. And I think it's not wild to say that this console release, it's been one of the best console releases ever. In 1 year we had a Zelda, a Mario game, a sequel to the Xenoblade Chronicles series, a hidden game in Mario and Rabbids, ARMS, Splatoon 2, Fire Emblem Warriors, a port of Mario Kart 8, and much more. We witnessed the evolution of Pokémon from handheld to console, with mixed results, and the reimagining of Zelda, and the revival of so many retro games because of the availability of having them everywhere at any time. Remember when you grabbed your Nintendo DS and put it underneath your covers to play freaking Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, so you could play past your bedtime? Well, now kids can do something like that with something as big as Xenoblade Chronicles. But after this amazing console release, years passed and gamers started to get impatient for the release of a new console. We saw Xbox and PlayStation evolve into the new generation of gaming, on paper. But the Switch stayed there, just staring, menacingly. But after years of waiting, the new Nintendo console has been unveiled, El Switch 2. And everyone rejoiced, wishes were met, people were pissed, and gamers worldwide united to dance to greet our new god once again. And now, Nintendo finally revealed the specs, some games, and new functions this console has. We have Elden Ring at home, and those racing games that don't have Nintendo characters that people play for some reason. The new Nintendo games look amazing. We have Mario Kart, but with a twist.
Add an open world to it and make it cool!
A new Kirby racing game directed by Sakurai itself, the dad of Kirby and Smash, and the one that made one of the only 10 out of 10 games out there. You know it's true, don't even try to fight me on this one, you're gonna lose. We have Bloodborne 2, more or less, because Nintendo said, Sony, you gonna eat that? Sony said, nah, and Nintendo said, joink! Silksong was shadow drop in the middle of who knows what, and they say praying doesn't help. A new Hyrule Warriors with movesets that, well, let's say Nintendo really like my Zelda videos. And we got a new freaking Donkey Kong game with a new twist!
Add an open world to it and make it cool!
We are witnessing the birth of possibly a console launch to rival the original Switch. We don't know what is beyond our sight. We could have a new Smash entry just around the corner, or a new Mario game that will rival Odyssey. We know Metroid Prime 4 is gonna fucking rock. And don't get me started of the possibility of a new mainline Zelda game, because I'm gonna... And overall, I'm pretty excited. We can finally move to a new generation of Nintendo games. And we can finally have a system that can run my Nintendo games better than my microwave. I was so joyful and jumping all around, until they dropped the bomb. Games are $80 freaking and 90 physical? This is bad in so many levels. You see, a game takes a really long time to develop, and some games are harder to make than others, but it falls into the company's laps to deal with that. They need to pay their developers and they need to have everything functioning like a well-oiled machine. Of course, developing new physics or a giant world with lots of stuff in it is gonna take more time to develop than a rail shooter, for example. But once all of that leaves the development side, we enter into the market part of the business, where they sell the games and we buy them, so we could experience our favorite titles. And the price of those games have an established number. Of course, it has gone up from years ago because of the economic hurdle we've put our planet in. But the price has been stable for a long time. There are just some greedy companies that want to charge more because they think their products is above others in the market quality wise, just to be humbled. And Nintendo has some pricey games that never go down in value. Apparently. I hope you freaking enjoyed the Xenoblade video. But the prices weren't outrageous until Zelda Tears of the Kingdom came out, setting a scary precedent. But we didn't bat an eye. We thought it was only a quick crash grab from Nintendo because it was a sequel of one of the best games ever made. But now, with the release of this console, we have $80 digital games and 90 physical ones. That doesn't even have the game anymore. You put the disc, but the game is installed digitally. It's not in the cartridge anymore. And this is scary. Video games are an art form that is meant to be experienced by everyone, just like a movie or a series. They are accessible because it's the right of the people to see these awesome pieces of art created by talented folk. That of course made them to be seen. No one has made a movie not to be seen. Every artist creates something with the goal of expressing emotion to the customer. A horror movie, a comedy, or something to ignite a competitive flame. So the price for us to get access to this media is something that almost everyone can afford. But when a company takes that and makes it a freaking expensive luxury, well, you are alienating your audience. Of course I want to play a Donkey Kong open world with destructive environments. Of course I want to race as a cow in Mario Kart. Of course I want to make new species extinct with Samus. Because these pieces of media Nintendo has given us for so many years, these freaking pieces of magnificent art have always been worth it. But now, I don't know anymore. Maybe this money can go to something else, or to games from another developer, because Nintendo is awesome, but there are a lot of developers that makes games of the same quality or better, and I don't have to sell my kidney to get them. I could get a fighting game and Baldur's Gate and have hundreds of hours of playtime by myself with my friends online or in competitive matches. Or I could play a 50 hours Donkey Kong game. And the problem does not stop there. What if, because it's Nintendo, and of course they are still going to sell millions of copies, then another company buys into that idea and starts selling $90 games too? I don't care about GTA 6 at all, but a lot of people do. And what if, because of this precedent, the game ends up being $100+ or some shit like that, because it is the most anticipated game with a lot of years in production and it has a lot of content. The developers were paid already, they are good, and the studios are going to get their money back if the game is good, no matter if it is a $60 or $70 game. A good game will speak for itself. But it's really dangerous that now, because a studio thinks they did a lot for us and we own them, they could sell us a triple-digit price game. The day this direct aired was the happiest day for my gamer/Nintendo lover heart, and the saddest as well. I don't like my favorite medium be stained by this corporate bullshit that is only harming the customers. I don't think the developers are greedy or just plain assholes. I think they genuinely do quality products that they want to share with us. And to have that ruined because the world moves by money and they want us to sell our kidney to buy 2 games is just plain disrespectful to the customers and the developers that only want to share their work. I just made a video where I talk about how Game Freak used to be a studio that truly cared about their work, and how developers like Satoru Iwata left every single part of himself in his work, giving away his free time to help games come out for the public with good quality. But now seems that there is this filter between the developers and us, and it's freaking sad to see this happen. Of course, corporations aren't your friends, they want your money and that's all. And this freaking sucks. I think this is something that maybe a lot of people won't really care about because what's the problem? If I can afford it and I want a new Pokemon and Donkey Kong game. But in a couple of years we can't afford games anymore and there is a gigantic wall between customers and product, and we can only experience the games through gameplay of others in YouTube or through emulation because fuck that. Or to the point you have to save for a game like you saved for the holidays. Well, we cannot look back to the time Nintendo revealed a new fantastic product while sneakily kicking us in the balls. Just imagine being a kid and asking your parents for a video game for your birthday and that game being freaking $90 because Santa is not going to appear the game on your Switch magically. Parents are gonna have to buy the physical copy to put under the tree, and that shit will be awful, and the kids could end up just not getting the Christmas presents they wish for because Nintendo, the company that sues every fan that wants to express their love for their games, the company that sues itself because the Mario trailer went up and went viral, Nintendo, the company that sued a non-profit personal work from a fan that was making personal Joy-Cons about a creator that touched lots of hearts, including mine. Nintendo, the company that wants to charge us for a tech demo and wants to make our games $90 freaking dollars. Ay, Iwata, how much you are needed right now. We miss you. I'm sorry the company you helped to become such a huge success is spitting in your work.
On my business card, I am a corporate president. In my mind, I am a game developer. But in my heart, I am a gamer.